Hello guys, what's up? This is Mortaza. Welcome back to Coder's Journey, and this is another video of our series on refactoring techniques in C#. In this video, I have decided to talk about another refactoring technique that can tremendously help you make your code cleaner and easier to understand. The name of this refactoring technique is replacing constructors with creation methods. Let me give you an example before I talk about this. So I have this class here called loan, right? So this loan class, as you can see here, has kind of a public constructor that takes in a lot of parameters, right? So suppose we want to we want our client to have the possibility to create different types of loans, right? So we have introduced a big constructor, and that client code will be able to pass in different values or different combination of values to these parameters, hence creating a specific loan. For example, suppose that if, for example, national is set to something, is set to, I don't know, like 1 or 1.5, it will become like a national loan. And if it is set to 5.05 or something else, it will become a, I don't know, international loan. So what I am trying to tell you is that using different values, different combination of values for these parameters, our client code will be able to create a specific types of loans, right? And this constructor is also public, so it means that from outside of this class, our client code will be able to, access this loan constructor function. But let me come here and say var loan equals new loan, right? And then you will see that I have a long list of parameters that I need to apply. And chances are, if I'm not very familiar with this loan class, I need to go to the documentation and read a lot about the different values that I can pass in for these parameters in order to create a specific type of loan. What I can do in order to improve this loan class is to create creation methods instead of constructors. So let me tell you this. It is also possible to come here to create another constructor and only taking I don't know, like outstanding and rating. And then I'm gonna remove these, right? So for example, you might think to yourself that, okay, in order to let the client code be able to declare or create a specific type of loan, all we need to do is to create another constructor, and that is exactly true. But the problem with these constructors is that they do not have a very meaningful descriptive name, right? They are named after the name of the class. So what if we could create a specific methods with very descriptive, meaningful names that could truly convey the the meaning or the type of loan that creation method is responsible for creating. That will help us tremendously, and we won't need to create numerous constructors with not very meaningful names. So what I am going to do is to remove this class, and I am going to paste in the refactored version of this class. This one, right? So let's go through the class loan, right? First off, notice that I have declared the constructor as private, meaning that from outside of this class, I will not be able to call this constructor. And this constructor is taking in a lot of parameters, but I'm not worried about that because my client code is not going to deal with these numerous parameters because this method is private. So from outside of this class, you will not be able to call that constructor. You see, it tells you that program.load does not contain a constructor that takes 0 parameters. So what I need to do is to take this and bring it here outside of the program class, right? And then I'm gonna take this example and put it here. So let me come here now. It says loan doesn't contain a constructor that takes 0 parameters. Now, does it even allow me to create a loan? It says loan doesn't contain a constructor that takes 1 argument. So it doesn't allow me to access the constructor of this loan class because the constructor is of course private. Now I have introduced different creation methods. These creation methods are public, are static, so I can use them using the name of the class, so I do not need to have an instance of that class, an object of that class, and they're public, so they're accessible, and then they are returning loans, right? And one good thing I love about them is that they all have descriptive names. So for example, this one is responsible for creating a specific type of loan called term loan. The other one, revolver. The other one, RCTL, right? So using these descriptive names compared to using not very descriptive constructor functions, I have reached a better level of clarity and readability. So it is very expressive, it is very easy to understand, and the names are, as they say, intention revealing, right? So these creation methods have descriptive names, and they clearly tell us what type of object is being, for example, created. Different kind of loans, right? Revolver, term loan, and RCTL. And also, as I told you, the readability has increased, and the class, in my opinion, has become easier to use for the client. Why? Because the client doesn't have to deal with this meaningless and difficult to understand constructor, which takes in a lot of parameters. So we have, as they say, spared the client the difficulty of working with this constructor, and I have offered meaningful creation methods. Now all I need to do to use these creation methods is to come here and say loan equals loan dot create RTCL, and then I can of course pass in the values that this a specific type of loan requires: notional, customer rating, maturity, and expiry. These creation methods, by the way, do not try to use them all the time, because you need to strike a balance between the benefits of having creation methods in your code base and the fact that these creation methods are of course methods that requires maintenance. So as I have told you before, less code is better, right? So when you want to go for this refactoring, take a moment to really think about the advantages of using a creation method in that specific class. If the advantages are not very tangible, are not significant, don't use them. Don't create creation methods. Go with constructors. But if you realize that having some creation methods really helps make the class easier to understand, then go for it. By the way, you do not need to use creation methods or create creation methods for each single type of object, right? So here for loan, for example, suppose we have 5 different types of loans, but I have realized that these 3 are very common and difficult to create, so I have created some simple to use creation methods. Of course, there are other refactorings that we can apply here that are relevant in the context of constructor functions that I have decided to talk about in another video. I'm gonna wrap this video here. If you enjoyed watching it, please make sure you subscribe and give it a thumbs up. share it with a friend, and don't miss out the next episode. Bye bye.